WW7ATS.
Good evening, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7CYM. Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that take to the airways with mass scan television. We have a repeater located up on Cougar Mountain. We transmit on 70 centimeters. It's a crossband repeater and spits out images at 1.2 gigahertz. To find out more about the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, Google WW7ATS. That's Google WW7ATS. That'll take you to our club homepage. There you'll find information on the frequencies that we transmit on, and also a link for streaming on YouTube for our nets that are held on Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. Also, we'd like to thank the SeaTac Repeater Association for letting us use WW7STR's repeater 147.08 for our voice transmissions with a tone of 103.5. So with that, I'll pause in case anybody has emergency traffic or needs to make a contact with someone before the net gets fully underway. This is Dave, KD7CYM. Hearing on again, this is Dave, KD7CYM, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net. Already checked in via video link is Ron, KD7QKU, Jessica, KF7UHK, Lee, N7KC, Bert, N7CS, Wade, W7ITL, Jim, N7QO, James, WU7N, and myself, Dave, KD7CYM. Is there anybody else who would like to check into the net this evening? Hearing none, let's go up to the top for Ron, KD7QKU in Tacoma.
Well, thank you very much, Dave. This is Ron. There's some feedback someplace. Is it me that's feeding back? I muted my microphone. I don't know where the feedback's coming from. Dave, are you muted? Dave's muted now. Wade's not muted, maybe. I don't know. Okay, is it better now? Oh, maybe it was Dave. Yeah, it might have been Dave. Okay, this is KD7QKU in Tacoma. Well, I was telling everyone, I guess, before we got started here that I have two ways to go to Zoom. I can, on my desktop, I can just click mail, and that'll take me right to my mail, but I always seem to, on this laptop, I always seem to have trouble. So tonight I decided I'd go through my, I guess you call it your browser, and it's Google Chrome on this one, and so I went to Google Chrome, and then I went to my mail, and it just hooked right up. So when I go the other way, it's like it gets mixed up, and instead of, when I click on Richard's email, instead of opening up, it wants to send me to the Zoom, app or page or something, and I have to mess around with it. But tonight it went just fine. Well, it's raining over here in Tacoma right now. Last time I looked, it was 45 degrees. We did go for a little ride this afternoon. We went out. I just sent a check to James for the dues, and then I drove over to the mailbox, post office, and drove up the road a little bit farther. They're opening the new grocery store. Darn, I forget the name of it now. They're all darn senior moment. Well, anyway, it opens on Monday, grand opening. We've been waiting for a year for it to open. It's a discount grocery store, so that'll be kind of fun to check that out. And then up the road a little bit farther is the Tacoma Theater, a little musical theater. I've never been in it. Peter. So anyway, we drove by the little theater, and they said on the net, on the internet, it has parking in back. Well, it has some parking in back, but it doesn't have very much. So some of these days we'll go to the theater. We used to, have season tickets in Bellevue to Issaquah. We used to go to the Paramount downtown for years and years, and then with Ben Arroyo, we'd go to the National Geographic. We went to a lot of stuff. Since COVID hit, we haven't done a thing, and of course we moved over here too. All right, enough. Back to net. KD7QKU.
QKU, Ron, thanks. Let's go to Jessica. KF7UHK in Everett.
That's the grocery outlet bargain market that you're thinking of, the new store coming in. I go there every now and then because I can get usually some cheap ice cream and some pretty fun frozen foods sometimes. Some of them are really odd, and a lot of the things they have on the shelf are things that you'll see this week and maybe you won't next week. But I do get this stuff called sparkling ice. It's mostly water, which is good because it's not soda pop, and I can get them for 69 cents at the bargain market, where at Fred Meyer's it cost me $1, and so I can chug them down without feeling like I'm getting a whole lot of sugar. Not much happening today. I cleaned house. I took out all the parts of the refrigerator today, piece at a time, and Cloroxed them and cleaned them and threw them in the dishwasher and threw them back in the refrigerator today. So the refrigerator is all nice and sparkling clean. And then I ran up to the house today and gave our water bill to our next door neighbor, because it's a very odd thing. Our house up in Mount Vernon, the house behind us shares a water bill with us because we only have one water meter between the two of us. It's really odd. So we just split it in half, and they pay half, we pay half. We always have water, they always have water, and water's cheap. So that's kind of our deal with them. So I went up and delivered the water bill today, and that was a productive day to get that done. It's really odd, to get these other guys on their own water meter. It'd probably be thousands and thousands of dollars to put in another line to get them on a different water meter. So, because I think the house that we have was once a business, and the house behind it was the place where someone lived, because it's on this highway and it's a business. It was a business once. So that's what I did today. KF7UHK.
Well, let's go to Port Angeles to Lee in 7KC and see if we can make a contact.
Okay, very good. In 7KC, good show. Well, I have my speakers turned off here on the Zoom, and I'm using headphones. I don't have any acoustic connection here to the system. Yeah, it's fun to have Bert in the airport there. At first, I didn't catch on because it just kind of looked like his house, but when he shifted the camera a bit, it's pretty obvious that he's on his way. So, bon voyage, have a great trip, Bert. And yeah, let's see. I was going to get a note off to Gary, but I slipped my mind. One thing I thought maybe I would try to show here is this is the windmill, and you can see that it's going like 60 there, but it's a strobing effect with the video cam. I'm just using the video camera in a cell phone. You can see my shadow there on the roof. And the reason I went up there was I had some lines, safety lines hanging down from my high antennas, and the wind was blowing from the east. And by golly, those things were coming within 2-3 feet of those blades. When I spotted that, I hoofed up there real quick and tied them off so that they couldn't get there. But that antenna right here, that's my big X700. It's a 28-foot tall stacked collinear for VHF UHF. It's a heck of a performer. It's really nice. Now, right where this tree is back here is where the prevailing wind comes from. You see, I only get, I'm standing east of now the wind's coming from the east, and as soon as it does, why, it takes off and goes to town. But, so I'm missing out on a lot of opportunities to generate some energy here, well, transform it from wind to electrical to battery storage. Simply because of that big tree here, but that tree's going to stay. We're not going to be taking that out. So that's it for this time. I'll see if I can dig up some other photos here next time around. So back to you, Dave. This is 7KC, Lee in Port Angeles. Thank you.
This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Let's see if we can make a contact with Bert, N7CS.
Okay, well, let's see. I'm at the Phoenix Airport, so I can't really talk too loudly here, and won't talk for too long, but I'm using my Pixel earbuds on my phone, because the new phone I got doesn't have the headphone jack, so I don't know if I'm actually speaking to the earbuds, or if I'm talking to the phone mic, but I guess if you can hear me either way, it's going through one of them. But, yeah, my flight's at 10 o'clock, so I'm just kind of hanging out on the deck here, so I'll make it real short. This is Bert, Phoenix Airport, 10:7 back to me.
CS, thanks for joining us in the net from a remote position. Always look forward to your travels. Let's go down to W7ITL, Wade.
ITL here in Tacoma. I'm going to make this pretty short because I'm not feeling too great. Yeah, so I went to the radio club at Tacoma today and I made a couple contacts with some of the folks there and I made some good conversation and yeah, after that I just went straight home and got in bed and was in there for about 4 hours and I just got up actually. But I'm just going to cut it short tonight. This is my only round. I'll let you guys go. W7ITL, back to net.
ITL, we got your 7-3. Thanks for joining the net for what you could. Let's go to Jim, N7QO.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Well, good evening, everyone. Wade, thanks for showing up. Uh-oh, can't hear me? Yeah, oh, okay. Wade, thanks for showing up, and hope you feel a little better. It seems like you have been under the weather for a little bit, and those multiple vaccinations would get any normal person, I think. So, anyway, good night, and hope you feel better. And Bert, in case you have to leave promptly or something, pleasant and safe flight, and have fun. Let's see, Ron, well, yeah, I haven't done a whole lot since COVID either, honestly. My wife and I both have done very little. A lot of things which we would normally do have been closed down. We normally get together with people for lunch in particular and occasional dinners, and places we've gone have been closed down.
couple of the fast food places have closed their dining room, but they're still available for carry out. But haven't bothered doing that. And even our church closed its doors for some length of time. Yeah, so we were doing church over Zoom for a while, and they have resumed activities, reset. But the people who are participating no longer seem to be as many as used to be before the pandemic. So I don't know if everything has slowed down, everything has changed, but that's the way it is. Let's see the weather. Yeah, it's raining here as well, and I have 45 degrees over here as well, just about a mile south of Covington. On Jessica, sparkling ice. Yeah, we tried that. Costco has that, and they had it on sale one month. We got some, and that stuff's okay. I don't know how the price there would compare to what you get. And it's been a while since we had it, so I no longer remember what we paid for it, but I remember we got it when they had it on sale. So if there's a Costco convenient for you, you might keep an eye out for that and do a little price comparison. And yeah, I see a balloon behind your head there, Jessica. Yeah, they shut it down. Well, back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
QO, let's go to James, WU7N in Bellevue.
This is WW7ATS, James in Northeast Bellevue. Thank you very much for running the net tonight, Dave. Well, let's see. Grocery outlet. I've got a grocery outlet just across down the road from me at Crossroads, and that is an amazing model. I kind of got to know the franchise owner of that place a few years back. It has since changed hands, and it's interesting. Their model is they buy like odd lots of stuff, and they buy leftover stuff. So he had a super sharp lady knew a lot about wine that was buying the wine for grocery outlet. So you'll have a pallet of really nice wine for really cheap, but then you don't see it again. It doesn't come back. I mean, because it's such an odd, strange lot that not even Wine Warehouse or Costco or somebody wants it. So that was an amazing thing. It's great to buy stuff that in reality has no expiration date, like little peanut butter crackers or something like that, because who cares if it expires in a week or something, because it's never going to expire. Oh, Jessica, shared water bill. Now that is funny. Okay, because you just know if I tried that with somebody, the next thing I know they'd be putting in a pool and a hot tub. And that's what would happen to me. As soon as we shook on the deal to split the water bill 50-50, that's my luck. Probably also the aqueous salmon farm would go in the valley between our two homes or something like that. So I'm glad it works for you. Let's see, now the big question of the evening, is Bert really at the airport, or does he have a clever green screen behind him and he's just projecting the image of the airport? Where is Bert really? We don't know, do we? We can all kind of imagine on that what's going on. Oh, wait, it's a clever green screen. Yes, Bert has like a super graphics card that's managing to move it around now. Thank you, Bert. That solves it. I don't think my graphics card could keep up with that kind of movement. But, I don't think that's me. I think the receiver and the transmitter there got out of sync with each other. I kind of think I double punched the mic button. We'd have to do the instant replay here to see if I did that. I think I'm responsible for that. I was going to say, Louie, thank you very much for that video. That was interesting for a number of reasons. The strobing effect I thought was really interesting. the fact that it's whipping around, and I thought it would be the ultimate funny if you were cutting down all your trees for green energy. That would be humorous. My favorite picture I have saved is a picture some friend of mine sent me, an overhead shot of this giant solar farm in Germany, and it's all covered in snow. So that's you got to laugh at it. I mean, it's amazing. Can you still hear me now? That was a little test. I punched it right after the CW identifier. Okay, it's when you double punch it, you confuse it, I think is what happens. Anyway, thank you very much for those pictures. Those were great shots. So this is James WW7ATS. Let me turn it back to Dave, KD7ZYM, our net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society tonight.
7M, James, thanks for that. And this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM, here in Lake City. Oh my, I had a sniffles this afternoon a couple hours ago. I've been fighting a low cold and took a couple of antihistamines, and then I was starting to watch a movie on TV, and the next thing I knew, the phone was ringing and the net had started. So my apologies for enjoying life by taking an antihistamine. Anyway, boy, that certainly put me to sleep. And grocery outlet, we got one here in Lake City, and oh my, the things that they have at times. I'm surprised. I went looking a couple of times for items, and I didn't find them there, but I did find them over at Fred Meyer's, which is about 3 blocks away. So it was worth when they do have things on sale, and their prices are just fantastic. The product is something that you can use. So anyway, that was about it. And the weather here, I've got 46 degrees, and it's raining here in Lake City. So that's about all I've got to add to the net for now. So let's go back to Ron, KD7QKU.
Okay, well, thanks again, Dave. This is Ron, KD7QKU. Well, the grocery store that's opening on Monday is Winco. So we're going to have a Winco store. It's only about 2 miles from us. It's pretty close. It was a grocery store previously. I don't know what it was. But apparently a couple of years ago when we had some snow or something, the roof caved in. They talked about opening the store when we moved here, and it's been almost 2 years. And my sister-in-law said, well, the reason it was so slow is they had to put a new roof on the building. So it must have been the only thing left was the walls. But they have been working on it for 2 years, so I'm glad to see it. I've never shopped in a Winco, so it's going to be a new experience for us. And we do have a grocery outlet that's right close to Winco, so I'm sure it's going to hurt grocery outlet business. We shop grocery outlet, but one of the things that I buy there is I like canned peaches, so I get them there cheaper than any place else. And so I usually pick up a half a dozen cans every month over there. So I have some peaches. We always wander around the store. We always buy a few things, but the majority of our shopping anymore is done at Fred Meyer's. The Safeways here is a really nice Safeways and awful business, but awful busy. But it's I swear the prices are $1 higher on everything. It seems to be awful expensive at Safeways over here where we live. So let's see. I didn't do much. We had Joanne's sister came over yesterday. So they like to have coffee at 3 o'clock, so they came by at 3 o'clock, and we had coffee and brownies and had a nice visit. I was just telling Joanne for dinner, I wonder if Phyllis is going to invite us over for dinner. We have gone over to Phyllis's and Doug's for dinner, I think, every Sunday this last month. Phyllis has called up and said either she had a turkey in the oven or she had a roast or something. She wanted us to come 37s that are lined up. There was 100 of them or more on the airport over there. So, I don't exactly know why they're all over there. They're waiting to be delivered, I guess. Or they were waiting to get maybe cleared from the problems they were having. Maybe they have to refurbish them. I don't know. Anyway, all right, that's enough for now. So, yeah, Winco is a new grocery store for us. So, back to net, KD7QKU.
QKU. And I see Russia, Jessica has dialed up the Russian Communications Center where they're saying we've lost contact with our balloon comrades. So anyway, let's go to Jessica, KF7UHK.
Bird's fake background, I had to put my fake background in there too, so there you go. I'm sitting right here at the communication center. Winco, I've talked to Winco before. I was looking it up on Wikipedia. Winco stands for Washington, Idaho, Nevada, California, and Oregon. No less Winco. And I guess it's mostly employee owned. And but I've shopped there before. I like shopping there. It's kind of a fun place. I haven't been there for a while because it's just not in my line of travel that I go back and forth from. But I have been there. I like Winco. That's kind of cool. Otherwise, let's see. I cooked some ribs today. I think I cooked them for about 2.5 hours in my oven, and I made a mixture, a rub of like salt and pepper and some looked like some Indian spices I had, and I took some panko breadcrumbs and put all those spices into a coffee grinder and grinded them all up real fine. So my ribs have kind of this crust on the outside that's actually pretty good. So that's what I did today while I was running around and cleaning house. Other than that, I'm going to pass it back to KF7UHK.
Let's go to Lee N7KC in Port Angeles.
Okay, very good. N7KC in Port Angeles. Well, very good. I have some more stuff here. Here is my precision rain gauge, the Stratus, and my conical one that I got from the weather people many years ago. But this is really nice because 1 inch of rain just fills this thing. So let me get a little better. Oh, this is my large aperture. This is my snow gauge. It's 10 inches across this aperture here. Everything has been very carefully weighed. So if we have a snow event or even a rain event, I can basically weigh this thing and determine how much water was collected, and then calculate what the rainfall was. And that works really well. And here is the wind generator. I'm up on there pretty close to it. And looking out here, you can see the street out here. Wanted to see because we're looking through a slot in the trees here at the bluff, and that's the street. And if you can see a little further, Victoria's right over there. Let's see. And here's the data on that thing. 12 volt, 25 amp, continuous watts 200, it'll peak at 300, and so forth. Rated RPM 1000, how about that? Anyway. And this is my shed job here. I'm going to run sneak a little power into it. I got an LED light in there. But anyway, this is rebuilding the shed. This is the new floor is in, but I'm kind of going backwards here now. But here you can see how I did it. I put bricks in, and then I filled concrete around them. I used the bricks as dunnage, so I wouldn't need so much concrete, and so forth. And then I put a floor over this, so there's no rats coming in there anymore. By golly, no nothing. And the next person that tries to take this shed down is going to get a big surprise. Anyway. You can see this was, I didn't get the door on, before the bad weather came. So that's my first job this spring, is to get a good door on the place. Yeah. In fact, I had to put in new steel pieces down here and so forth. It was all rotted out. It was a big job, but we're just about done. And here's our place, so forth. I guess I'm out of time, so I better quick because I don't want time system out. So maybe I'll continue here the next time. Anyway, this is W7KC, Port Andrews. Thank you, Dave. Good.
Let's go to the lounge listed at the airport. Bert, N7CS.
Okay, hopefully everyone can hear me. So I guess I'll try to do a little bit of show and tell. So this is a new camera I just got yesterday. I ordered it earlier in the week. It's the first time I had something a little more complicated than just a thin and cheap camera. It's the first camera I've ever had that has a replaceable lenses. So let's see if I can actually take the lens off. You can see inside the camera. I don't know if you can see the CCD in there. But so this is just one of the lenses that it came with. And it can expand out and such. And let's see. Here's one of the other lenses that it came with, the 200 millimeter lens. But I don't know, I'm going to have to learn how to do this while I'm out and then on my trip. So that's all I have for now. So this is Bert at SeaTac Airport and CCS back 10.
7CS, Bert, thanks for that, showing us you're going to become a professional photographer now with a big camera as opposed to using your cell phone. So the enhancement of pictures will be numerous, I guess. So wish you well on that. And ID here again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7CYM. Well, let's see. Coming up next is Jim, N7QO.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Well, let's see. Winco, the only places by me, there's a Safeway and a Fred Meyer, and there's a Costco, and all three of them are about in the same location. Comparing Safeway and Fred Meyer is almost always a bit less expensive than Safeway, but I understand that the two may actually merge. So I don't know what's going to happen there, but we'll find out. I have grown fond of Costco, but some things I just don't want like a 5-gallon quantity of it at a time. So we always wind up going and getting some things from the other stores. And usually if Fred Meyer doesn't have something, then Safeway will have it, but we'll pay $1 or $2 more. Oh well. Yeah, glad someone commented on Jessica's background there. It looks like she's in Houston or something. And now I'm not sure what to make of that. It looks almost like some space alien about to devour you there in the background. Interesting. That windmill is pretty cool. I don't know, sorry about the tree in the background, but I remember we were watching it the other day, and there were some pretty good peaks on the ammeter, so that's good. Someone commented about cutting down a tree so you can have green energy. Well, I got a chuckle out of that. That's appropriate
inappropriate, I guess. I'm not sure how politically correct it is, but kind of an appropriate comment. Let's see. I guess that's about it for now. Back to you, Dave, and 7QO. QO, let's go to James, WW7N in Bellevue. Dave, I thought I would put this picture out. I had a good image, and I seem to have lost it, but here it is. This is a Soviet space probe, and what's unique is it has American Kodak film in it. This was during the Cold War when America was flying giant balloons about the size of refrigerators over the Soviet Union, and they would fall down or be shot down. And so the Soviet scientists took the very high-quality Kodak film out of the spy balloons and put them in a space probe, and then turned it into kind of a propaganda thing, which I thought was kind of funny. And I'm not sure what the year was here on this. I guess it was, let's say, I don't know. It was certainly the 50s or 60s, somewhere back in there. But anyway, they got the picture of the far side of the moon with the American Kodak film. In the comments about Safeway, there's a Safeway down where Ron used to live at Eastgate, and I noticed their gallon of milk runs about 30 cents higher than grocery outlet gallon of milk. So I guess maybe that's just that neighborhood, what that neighborhood will bear, but that's a lot. That's a lot of difference for a gallon of milk. And I wouldn't feel badly about it if the cows got a cut of it, but somehow I don't think they are. So I don't know. Let's see. The other example of shrinkflation out of a Safeway, I actually haven't been in a Safeway in quite a long time. I went into one and to replace my coffee filters, which I got 600 in a bag somewhere back when COVID was first starting 3 years ago. I mean, I had 1 cup of coffee a day. It's not a big deal. It's like 1 or 2 cents a filter or something like that. Well, now they come in bags of 200 instead of 600. So I thought that was interesting too. So it's not that it's going to break me or anything, but the price of the coffee filters has gone up to 3 cents, which as a percentage is actually kind of a big increase. We're getting pretty close to the top of the hour, so I will go ahead and turn it back to Dave, KD7ZYM. This is James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue. 7N, thanks with that. Well, let's see. Things in grocery shopping. Grocery outlet. I had gone there a couple of months ago, or about 3 months ago, looking for some hot sauce, Tabasco, and they didn't have it. So I went to Costco, and they didn't have Tabasco. So then I went to Safeway, and they didn't have Tabasco. So I thought there's a Tabasco shortage. Then I went over to Fred Meyer's, and I think they had the whole market on their shelves. There must have been row after row of Tabasco at Fred Meyer's. So anyway, I was able to pick up my commodity and go on. So it was like a hunt for Tabasco. I couldn't believe it that there could be a shortage. So that's about it. This is Dave, KD7CYM. So let's go back up to Ron, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU here again. Well, I guess we're on a food trip tonight. So here a while back, I was looking for hot jelly. Jelly with that's hot, and I wanted to put it on cream cheese on top of a cracker. And I went to all the stores right here, and I couldn't find it. So my wife's niece had brought some to a little gathering over at Phyllis and Doug's house, and man, it was really good, and it was hot. Not awful hot, but it was pretty hot. She did bring some other jelly to put on cream cheese and a cracker if you didn't like hot. So I asked her. I saw her the other day. I asked her. I went to every store in our area. Even when we have what's called the Tacoma Boys here, and they have a lot of stuff, but they're kind of expensive too. I mean, they have a lot of those specialty items, but they didn't have any that I wanted to buy. So anyway, I asked Jenny, where did you get that hot? She found it at Fred Meyer's. Myers has it, but my Fred Myers doesn't have it. That's kind of weird. So anyway, so the new fad now, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but Jenny has a board. It's about, 12, 14 inches wide and about 3 feet long. And that's where she puts all the snacks, the cheeses and the meats and the crackers and everything on this board. It's the big new entertaining fad thing for the younger people, I guess. There's a name for it, but I don't know what it is. But that seems to be the new fad. She was the first one I saw with it. Of course, when one person gets it, then everybody else has to get one. But they sell that board for about $65 if you go to buy it someplace. It's amazing. I told my brother-in-law, Doug, he's a cabinet maker. I said, Doug, you're missing the boat here. You need to be making these and selling them on the internet. Because he has all the equipment to make that stuff. Yeah, Jim's got one, maybe. I don't know. But the one she has, it's pretty neat. It's dark wood, nice wood. It has a handle. It has a hole cut in each end, so you can, like a handle, so you can pick it up and hang on to it. But it's at least 3 feet long, and it might be 18 inches wide. I mean, she can pile a whole bunch of stuff on it, let me tell you. And so Jenny seems to be the big snack person. So she's over, like I say, in Moses Lake this weekend with the hockey player. So anyway, I guess we're just about out of time. So back to net, KC7QKU.
QKU. Let's go to Jessica. KF7UHK.
This pile high with like meats. It might be a charcuterie board, but maybe just a serving board. Interesting. What I got behind me here might be a Mandelbrot set, which is this mathematical thing that you can stick on computers, and it would do this kind of thing. And I can't explain it to you because I just read it on the internet and it didn't make any sense to me because I'm not that smart. But it has to do with things that don't go to zero or infinity, and it kind of repeats itself, and you can keep on zooming in closer and closer and closer, and keep on finding the same patterns that are embedded in this mathematical process. But Mandelbrot set is what I think this is called. Or at least one of the versions of it, and you can put different sets of numbers in to make different patterns, and so that's kind of what you're seeing. My computers aren't fast enough to do this kind of thing, but a good computer could do this, and maybe a time-lapse camera to capture it all. Let's see. Other than that, I don't get anything, so I'm gonna pass it back. KF7UHK.
UHK, I hope you don't get consumed by those images. Let's go on to Lee, N7KC.
Okay, very good. Well, when I was looking at it, at first it was fractals, but the Mandelbrot may be based on fractal technology mathematically. I don't really know. But anyway, yeah, looks like fractals. Okay, let's see, continue with a little bit of this here, but this is our place. We added a sunroom after we got here, and so forth, and this is my shop up here. Here is the weather station, the Tempest right here, and my Radio Shack is where I am right now. It's over here underneath this antenna on the top level, and so forth. Yeah, I'm right down underneath here, Thankfully, the slope of the roof is not much here, as you can see, so I don't consider myself to be in any danger when I'm up there working. I'm very careful about it. Okay, there's the Tempest weather station. I'm very happy with it. It's just a lot of fun to have it. And you can see my two tall antennas here. One is a 20-meter folded dipole, and the other is a 40-meter. dipole to dipole. And I have these lines here in case the line breaks where I can, there's pulleys up in the trees so I can get them back. It costs a lot of money to have a tree climber come and retrieve them for you. That's a sink job I put in down in our laundry room, bathroom. We had an old pedestal sink here, and I changed it over to a wall job. And so just some pictures of the plumbing I did. And I had to take that wall apart. Maybe I can find some pictures. Yeah, here's what it was looking like. Here. I had to open it up and find out if I had anchors for the sink and so forth and all that. But anyway, it came out really, really nice. We're real pleased with it. And here's, remember when I did that time lapse of the barometric pressure with the clock in it? This was my setup. I just took some pictures of the camera. They're looking down on it. Oh, back to the wall. Yeah, this pipe was loose, so I put a bracket in here and fixed that up. I'm out of time, so I'm going to quit. Back to you, David, 7K Seedley in Port Angeles.
KC, thanks for that. Let's go on to Bert, N7CS.
Okay, yes, Bert, looks like there's not much time left, but yeah, I'm not sure how much I'll be able to come on the nest over the next couple of weeks. It just depends on connectivity and things like that. On Wednesday, I will be in, if things go to plan, Costa Rica, and then the following Saturday, I will be in the Netherlands Antilles. I don't even know where that is yet. I need to look it up on a map. But I know things always change with cruises, and we may end up changing the itinerary. But right now, that's kind of the plan for the next two nets, Costa Rica and the Netherlands Antilles. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, I'll give the rest of the time back to Bert at SeaTac Airport and 7CS back to you.
N7CS, thanks for that. Let's go down to Jim, N7QO at Covington.
Before. They seem to be pretty popular. I don't know, to me it seems like a lot of trouble to go through something like that. I just need a pail, a bucket, fill it with potato chips or popcorn or Cheetos, and if you want it, you can pour some hot sauce on it, or maybe some salsa or some guac, or you know, a variety of things, whatever pleases you. But it just seems to me like that those cutting boards are a whole lot more trouble than they're worth. It's too I don't know, sophisticated. Just give me a bucket. I'm happy with that. It's what can I say? Back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
So let's go to James, WW7N in Bellevue.
Is going to wrap it up here. It looks like we're getting pretty close to the top of the hour, so I certainly appreciate everybody checking in tonight, especially you, Bert. My goodness, from the airport. I hope you have a great trip. It sounds like pretty exciting places to visit. Look forward to hearing from you. If not during the trip, maybe after the trip, you can show us some pictures. Lee, thank you again for your pictures. I don't think I've seen those before If I have, I don't remember it, so I really appreciate seeing those. And let me just say good night to all. This is James, WW7ATS in Northeast Bellevue. Take it away, Dave.
7N, thanks for that, and thank everybody that turned out for the net this evening for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. We'd like to thank the SeaTac Repeater Association for allowing us to use WW7STR's repeater 147.08 with a tone of 103.5 for our voice transmissions for our nets held on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, this is Dave, KD7CYM, signing off the net at 9 o'clock. Good evening all.